All right. How's everybody doing out there today? Hope everybody's having a great day. You guys already know it's Granna, so that means it's kitchen talk time. So let's just get into it. Wow. Okay. So we're done. We're done with the election. It's over and done with. We all know what the results was or is. Donald Trump won the presidential election. Okay. That is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Can't change it. What I will say, and hopefully you guys get to see this video on YouTube, don't pull it, okay? But anyway, my opinion on this whole situation is, first of all, it's just been crazy. You know, I think it was a setup towards VP Harris. This person only had, 6 months at the most to campaign. She started the whole election season off back in President Biden, and being there to campaign and help push his focus and his goals out there of what he intended to do in the next 4 years for the United States. She was not campaigning for herself. And I feel like it was selfish on our president's behalf, and even the people that know him the best and the closest, that they did not get him to concede even sooner than he did. I mean, this whole campaign, there was no other Democratic candidates on the tab running against him, competing against him or anything. All the focus was on him. And then once they all start to realize, in their opinion or in their eyes, in their view, that he was not capable of handling another 4 years because they had concerns about his health, then they want to, jump on the bandwagon less than 7-8 months out and push it. I'm not even going to say encourage him to step down. They basically forced him to step down, and at that point they had no one else that would step up, because everybody else that they felt like was qualified to be the next candidate for the presidential did not declined to offer, because they knew in their head that there was not enough time to even get together a solid plan or an agenda to fight against Donald Trump, because Donald Trump has had 4 years to put this plan together. So that forced Kamala Harris into the running position. Okay. Do I feel like she fought a great fight? Absolutely. I feel like she fought a great fight. Do I feel like there could have been some things said or not said on her behalf? Absolutely. There probably was some things or questions that was being thrown out there to her that she was not, in other people's opinion, open enough about or clear on, okay? But I felt like she gave it a great fight. She gave it all she could in a 6 months period. Very limited period. You looking at 6 months compared to 4 years. He had 4 years from the day Donald Trump left the office. He already started putting in place his plans for this exact moment. He already started doing what he was doing, and he had even put things in place before he left the office in 2020. He was already on his defense and all that. So yeah, but I think she ran the best campaign that she could in the time limit that she had to run it. Okay. Let's move over to the new incoming President Donald Trump. He will be taking office in January the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like this man has had, like you said, the previous 4 years to put together the plan that he had. I feel like there was definitely things that he said that should not even been allowed to even come out of his mouth to the United States, period. For every person in the United States, he has said something negative about. Phrases that he said, things that he has quoted himself. Some of it we know was just nonsense and did not make any sense. And I will go to the thing when they had the debate where he was talking about Haitian people coming into this country, eating up pets, cats, dogs, pigeons, all that. I mean, those things was a total disgrace to that whole culture and those people, in any people, period. Totally disrespectful and disgraceful. But he was allowed to say those things. And even when it comes to individual as myself and other individuals that use social media platforms to voice their opinions on different things, we have to be very careful about some things that we say, because the YouTube's policies and the social media policies, they will pull your story or your comments, because they feel like you violated these different policies that they have in place that's supposed to be safe for everyone and supposed to be respectful for everyone as you're talking. But we have a presidential candidate now, the president that will be stepping into office in 2025, that has said all type of things. And I don't even have to repeat these things because it's out there. It's public knowledge. You can go and you can go back and you can Google and pull up different things he said during his different speeches that he's had throughout this whole campaign, and even before he started campaigning, even when he was in office before. But these are the people's choice. This is the choice that the people has made. We have to live with it. We can't do anything about it. Some of these things that he had said he was going to do, these people that are backing him and behind him, they're gonna feel the wrath of these things, and it's not going to be as positive as they think it is. Not only is he going to come for different ethnic groups, he's going to come for anything that he feels he has the right to come for. And you know, sometimes it's like the old saying say, you have to find out stuff the hard way. You have to find out stuff for yourself. So that's the way it's going to end up being. I just pray that this country can survive the next 4 years in a positive and healthy way. And I just pray that all the citizens, senior citizens, and anyone that's having any type of health issues, whether you're on Medicare, Medicaid, you're on a public medical insurance, whatever it is, I just hope that these things will stay in place, that you can continue to survive and have the necessities when it comes to your health and your medical needs and all that. That is definitely one of my prayers. I pray that some of the things that we've heard don't come into play as they have been told to us. You know, right now he is the whole party, his whole party is in control, and that's what it is. They're in control of the Senate and the House. So definitely it would be much easier for him to put in place different things that he wants to put in place. He doesn't have to worry about the other party snapping back at him or going against what he feels like he wants to do. Okay, and I don't even know if it would really even matter if he had the House and not the Senate. I don't think any of that stuff even matter because of the type of person he has presented himself to the world. Okay, but you know, people are going to do what they want to do. People are going to believe what they want to believe, and even when it's right there in black and white in their face, they don't care. They only, you know, if this is what they believe truly, then it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm telling you guys, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all better start praying. Y'all better start hoping that some of these things that he was saying during his campaigning time does not come into play, because it's not only going to affect the people that he was stomping on and beating down, it's going to affect a whole lot more. Okay, but that's just my opinion about it. At this point, we need to go into 2025 in a positive mindset and just keep trying to survive and do what you got to do. And you know, with me saying that, let me say this: I'm not saying that the Biden-Harris time in office the last 4 years was perfect, because nothing is perfect. It wasn't perfect when Obama was in office. It wasn't perfect when Bush was in office, Reagan was in office, any of that. All of them had issues, because each time there is a transition. Each time one president is getting ready to exit and the next one is coming in, whatever has happened those 4 years before, the incoming president have to take on some of those issues. So with that being said, when President Donald Trump took office um, in 2016, you cannot tell me or make me believe that he did not inherit some of the things that President Obama had already set in place. He had not. He did not inherit some of the good things that he had in place. But of course, there are people that's going to disagree with me and saying, oh, when he went in office, it was a mess, it was this, it was that. You cannot even make some of these changes within the first year or even 2 years. You can't even do it. You know, these things, these different types of bills that they're trying to pass and amendments and all this stuff takes time. It ain't like you can go in there today and then you put an amendment or a bill in place and it takes effect the next day. That's not a part of that. If you understand your civics back when you went to school, or you could just Google this stuff and see that none of this stuff can happen that quickly. Now, okay, he allegedly he has, and not even allegedly, he has both he has a house, he has all that. So some of these things that he's trying to put into effect may happen a little bit quicker than they would have been, but it's still like it's not going to take effect immediately. You know, it's a process through all this stuff. It's a process through the whole government period. There's a process. So I feel the way I feel, and I also just feel like it was just a setup from the beginning. This was a setup, because Democrats, you all dropped the ball. We as Democrats, you as Democrats, whoever that claims that party dropped the ball, because there was no way that coming into this year, knowing how crucial it was going to be, that there was no other candidate on the ticket. None. No one even competed against President Biden. It should not have been there. There was over 20-some people on the Republican ticket running for the presidential candidate, you know, and then there was no one over here for this standing president to even compete against. I know there had to be some difference. I know there had to be people feeling some kind of way towards our president that we have in place right now. There had to be something going on that people was feeling some kind of way. But instead of them getting out there saying, okay, we have reasons, whatever it is, his age, his health, his points of views, where the economy is now, this, you know, price of this, all that stuff was probably a concern, or should have been a concern for the party to have put someone else on that ticket and ran and gave their point of view and campaigned it. That way that person, when it did come time for Biden to step aside, they would have already had a person, because they hadn't even gotten to the point where the convention part where that person could have been out of the picture. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's been a lot. I did, of course, as far as my opinion, I did, of course, go ahead and vote. I knew that my vote was not going to make a whole lot of difference, because even with that, even they say this is the biggest turnout it has been in years. Even with all that, it all came down to the electoral votes. And even if the popular votes win a state, one party or the other, that the electoral votes still do not have to give that candidate their votes just because they was the popular vote of that city or that county or that state. They don't have to do that. You can have 30 states that was all popular on whichever party. That was a popular vote. They had the most votes from all the people, all the voices and all that. But then when it comes to those electoral votes, they could have went, those same 30 states could have gave all those votes to the party that they wanted to give it to, or they felt like they should give it to. So really, even though people have fought and died for this privilege for generations and generations and generations to come, they have did that so that all these generations can vote. The vote is not the determining factor of who becomes the president of the United States. And that's a fact. That's just a fact. You can Google it. You can look it up. It comes down to those electoral votes. And the electoral votes are determined by, I think about however many people that state have up there in the House and the Senate and Representative and all this kind of stuff. You know, you can read that and see how they break that down. I know the state that I'm in, there's only 9 electoral votes. But those 9 electoral votes, for as many years as I can remember, has always went to one party, always went to the same party, has never changed up in the what 20, 30 some years that I've been able to vote. It has never changed. It's always went to that same party, regardless if they won the state or not, which they've always won the state too. Okay, but that's it. Just want to throw my little opinion out there about this whole election, guys, and just stay positive, keep a positive mindset. Just continue to go, be grateful, be okay with the way you voice your opinion, and just be okay with what we have to face for these next 4 years. But you can make it through it if you have faith, if you believe, and you stay strong in your faith, and you walk in your faith, and just stay positive. Then we will survive. We will survive. Okay. All right, you guys have a great day. Granna's about to get up out of here. I'll talk to y'all next time around.